In my previous video, I asked you one question. If a website hides all the database errors and the responses look normal, then how would you detect blind SQL injection? And today I'm going to answer the same question. So, blind SQL injection happens when the application is vulnerable but database shows no error. It means that we cannot rely on the error messages to confirm the injection, right? But there are multiple ways attackers use to detect blind SQL injection, and today we will focus on the most practical and commonly used method, that is time based SQL injection. In the time based SQL injection, attackers forces the database to delay its response, and if the response time increases, it confirms that the database executed the query which was injected, and it confirms that the application is vulnerable to SQL injection. Here on my screen, you can see this is the Portswigger lab for blind SQL injection with time delays. I will put the link of this lab in the description of the same video, and here you just have to click on access the lab and it will open this page. Okay, so I was just trying this lab and I have already solved it. But first of all, what we will do, we will just refresh this page just to ensure that there are no errors showing on this website. Okay, and meanwhile I will open my burp just to turn on the intercept, because we have to intercept the request from that lab. Okay, so I'll just turn it on and I will go to Chrome once again, and what I will do, I will just refresh the page. You might not be able to see it on screen because I do not know how to record the screen simultaneously. I do not know, so I have just refreshed it. Okay, now I'll go back to burp suite. Here in the request you can see there's a cookie called as tracking ID, and this tracking ID is being processed by the backend database. Okay, so next step is you just have to send this request to repeater, and we will open repeater, and here the same request this is. And first of all, we need to ensure that, we just need to confirm how long it takes to produce the response or response us back once we click on send. Okay, so if I click on send, it took to 309 millisecond. Here you can see, which is approximately 3 seconds, right? Now if this application is vulnerable, we can inject our SQL code in this parameter and we can observe how it behaves. Okay, so here in the tracking ID we can add our SQL code like this is for Postgres SQL database. So this is our code, and this tells the database to sleep for 5 seconds. So let's check if this is working fine. Okay, so I'll just click on send. It should ideally take 5 seconds to respond back, and it took approximately 5 seconds, right? Here you can see 5322 milliseconds, right? Now we can also check it for 10 seconds, right? So I just changed it to 10, and once again I'll click on send. It should take 10 seconds, right? So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So yeah, here it took 10, approximately it is 10 second, right? 10 300 milliseconds. So this confirms that the database executed our injected query, and even though we did not see any error on the website, the time delay which we have observed just now confirms that this application is vulnerable to SQL injection. This is called as time based blind SQL injection. But SQL injection is not the only dangerous vulnerability. There is one more vulnerability that does not target the database, but it targets the user, and it is called as cross-site scripting or XSS. And we will discuss this in our next video. So stay tuned and thank you for watching.